What is up, guys? Welcome, Crypto Fud. Get my beer ready. What's going on, guys? Welcome. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Let's jump right into this. Jay, what's going on? Ricky's finally in the house. What's going on, bro? What's going on, man? Not a bad day today in the markets. Not a bad day. What did you guys think about Jerome Powell and everything that was said? We're gonna cover a couple key things that he said in regards to crypto and really the markets. But what was y'all's take on Jerome Powell today? Definitely saw the markets initially, positive in my opinion in regards to a nice little move towards the upside. Right now, we're currently sitting at around 103.5, a little bit under there. We did break a key spot that was some support at around that 103.6 area, but we'll see how this plays out as far as this 30-minute candle right here. But maybe even potentially a small little bear flag that's forming for Bitcoin. Possibly. Real quick, guys, make sure you guys slap those likes. Let's hit those likes. Let's start bringing more people to the channel if you guys can. I really do appreciate that. Drinking some, I don't know if you guys can see this. Hold on. There we go. Space Dust. Not gonna lie, I've been drinking it for the last week. It's pretty good. Not every single day, but when I have a beer, it's pretty good. Not too bad. All right, well, let's just jump right into this, guys. So welcome. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday. It is hump day. No Diddy on that one. The week's halfway over with already. Today, we anticipated Jerome Powell coming out speaking, obviously, for interest rates and all that good stuff. We already knew, right? The market's already pretty much priced in that we were going to see a pause for today. But I've been indicating that what I'm anticipating from Jerome Powell is that he's probably going to be under some pressure. He probably already is. Not pressure like he's going to get fired particularly. But, just some pressure as far as the new administration to start decreasing interest rates. We've seen this on the campaign trail. We've seen this before, right? Not getting political, but, bringing Trump up. He has brought this up plenty of times that he wants to see interest rates come down, right? And he is going to start pressuring Jerome Powell to start reducing rates faster than I think he is anticipating. Obviously, Jerome Powell's not going to just start reducing rates out of nowhere and then causing inflation to spiral out of control. But if we start getting some good reads like we've had the last two reads for the CPI report, we've had, inflation coming down very small, but it's heading in the right direction. Remember, inflation for the last 8 months was flat. It was just flatlined at around 3.3, 3.4. Well, we've seen a deduction in the last two CPI reports by a tick. Right? So nothing crazy, but it is starting to head towards the right direction again. I think that will be enough fuel for Jerome Powell to potentially backtrack on what he was saying in December. Remember, December we saw in the markets started to dump around Christmas time. Well, it was basically lined up exactly when Jerome Powell spoke during Christmas time, indicating that he was going to be not reducing interest rates 4 times like we're planning in 2025, but only 2 times. So the market's kind of it threw a monkey wrench into the equation, and the markets didn't like it. We saw, on top of already our end of the year selling, we started to see that sell off occur. But since then, today Jerome Powell, if you guys watched, and we're gonna watch a little snippet of it, looked like he kind of changed his tune a little bit. Right? It looks like he was a little bit more optimistic in regards to getting towards, like I keep saying, he's gonna flip over to maybe start being a little bit more aggressive on reducing interest rates. We'll see how that plays out, but obviously, what was said in the meeting today from Jerome Powell the markets took it positively, right? Bitcoin up about 2.2% at around 103.6 right now. We did top out at around 104.7. I was really anticipating us getting up and getting rejected at around the 105.3 area right here, but we didn't make it up there. But a couple key things that I do like so far. So you guys can see. As I zoom out here, let me zoom out to the 4 hours for Bitcoin. I know there's a lot of retracement lines and support levels, but just bear with me. So if you guys can see, we've had this trend line, right? This was basically formed when we made all-time highs, and you can see we pretty much either have hit our head on this trend line, or as of late we've been finding support on the trend line, which is very great, usually a bullish sign. Well, since then we actually have found support above another trend line, which almost looks like we formed some kind of a bull flag in the last few weeks, and we've been kind of in this downward channel, right? But like I said, respecting this trend line on the bottom and respecting the trend line on the top. Well, as of today, we did break above, and we're gonna have to see how this plays out in the next day or two. But if we do start finding, even if we find support and we drop down to even like 103, but we bounce off the top of this trend, that could be indication that the markets could be setting up for some kind of a move towards the upside. So we'll see how it plays out. Now, don't forget, tomorrow we have the GDP growth report coming out tomorrow, right? So I do think that this is going to be another kind of a, I'm not going to say a dramatic market mover, but it can be, right? The GDP is basically the growth of the economy. Did we grow? Did we decrease in the last quarter, right? So what they're anticipating is that we actually decreased in the last 3 months, right? We've gone, what their forecast is that we've gone from 3.1% growth in the economy. They're forecasting that we're going to see a 2.6% growth in the economy, which usually indicates that the economy is I'm not saying that the economy is doing terrible or anything like that, but maybe not doing as good as a lot of people are assuming. So we'll see how that plays out for tomorrow. A lot of times these GDP drops, and it maybe fluctuates a little bit during the time of, which is going to be tomorrow, I believe tomorrow morning, if I'm not mistaken, around 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We might see a little bit of fluctuations, but I really don't think that we're going to see any kind of dramatic moves towards the downside from the GDP. Now, if we see any big sell-offs, that could be completely from something else. So we do have that. So if you're wondering tomorrow, you're like, why the hell is the market like fluctuating by the thousands? It could be from that GDP report that's dropping tomorrow. So we'll see how it plays out. But for the most part today, not a bad day in the market. It looked like some of the meme coins are starting to come alive, guys. We have Pepe up about 12%, Bunks up about 9%, Myro, thank you, it's up 12%. Earlier today, Myro was actually up 17%. I was like, freaking good God. You guys were scaring me in the Discord. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I tune it out, but at the same time, I'm listening to you guys, and we did hear that, a lot of people were, the devs aren't responding for Myro in the Discord and all this, bull crap. And I just told everybody, I said, guys, listen, this happens to every project. They did it for Milady. They've probably done it for Pepe. They probably did it for Doge. I wasn't even in the Discords for Doge when I was trading Doge back, 5 years ago. But they do it for, it's the emotional traders that are always the loudest, that need, I have to talk to the dev, or if the dev didn't say hello in the last week, oh my God, he sold everything, right? And they start getting on all their socials. This is a scam. Sell now, and it's just like, so you have to put that noise away, right? So I was happy to see that at least, we're getting some kind of a resurgence for some of these meme coins, particularly that have been decimated in the last month. And by no means are these meme coins even back to life at all, right? I mean, even with Myro up 13% today, it's still at 3.1 cent right now. Like, still a crazy buy area that it's in, right? That just shows you how much these prices have gone down on meme coins particularly. Now, you jump into some of these alts, Ethereum up 2% at around 3,100. You have Solana at around 232. XRP, it's been kind of stagnant around that $3.10 mark. It is at around $3.08 right now. ICP at $8.70. Fetch and ALI were kind of not doing good for the last few days, and it was because of that DeepSeek, Temu AI crap that came out that really scared the markets, which I think was a big a nothing burger in my opinion, right? But it did shake up the markets, and AI projects were definitely paid the cost for that, particularly in the last few days. But Milady up about 7%. So I mean, the markets don't look bad as of now, and this just right here should show you guys that Bitcoin's been holding pretty strong. Yes, alts have been they've been just not doing good for the last like 3 or 4 weeks, right? We've seen some massive drops. We've seen numbers on some of these alts that we didn't think that we were going to see for a while, right? We are seeing them. Me personally, I'm looking at them as opportunity. I've been buying the hell out of anything that I've been buying, like, before these massive drops have just been dollar cost, averaging in, bringing my average down if I am in the red on some of these projects, and picking up other projects that maybe are down that I know are going to do really well, So me personally, I'm more looking at it as the glass is half full kind of thing, right? Where this is just a beautiful opportunity in my opinion, right? I'm not going crazy throwing everything at my life savings into everything. I have good positions and a lot of these projects, but just bringing my averages down, accumulating, and kind of just letting it play out, right? That's the only thing that we really can do. When you start feeling that emotion and you start buying in on some of these people that are so emotional, right? These beginner traders, those are going to be your emotional people, the beginner traders, people that have been in crypto. It's like you learn to have patience. Yes, we've all been there. I've been there too. I've never really got on CoinMarketCap or got onto any of these groups and just started crying like a little baby, over this shit. But I mean, at the same time, I've felt that emotion, before, but I've learned throughout my years of trading crypto, to just have thick skin and really just, take a lot of these dips as opportunity, right? You'll know when we're in a bear market, right? We're going to be screaming. There's going to be flags. There's going to be, there's going to be a lot of indications letting us know that we're entering a bear market or that we're in one, but we're in nowhere near that right now. Nowhere near that. So personally, just using this all as a opportunity. Bitcoin dominance right now sitting around 59.6. If you guys remember, I think this was the stream. We didn't stream yesterday. Sorry, I took the day off of streaming yesterday, but because there wasn't really much going on yesterday. But the day before we did stream, and we were down here on dominance, and I told you guys we're probably going to come back up to retest this 59.8 area somewhere around here. We didn't necessarily slap it, but we got very close, and we're still not that far as that basically the 60% area for dominance. So basically dominance has continued to rise, right? If anything, if we move this trend line right here, look at that. This is the original trend line, guys, that we formed basically in the last 2 years, right? When we jumped out of the bear market, you can see the Bitcoin dominance, right? This was our upward trend, was just bouncing off of this, right? Well, we broke out briefly, and that's when we saw these alts do very well. But since then, dominance has come back to rear its ugly head. But you can see we broke up. Whoa, did we literally just, oh, we're on the daily. So I guess on the daily it said we pretty much hit that area as the resistance for right now. But look at what's happening is it's basically hitting the top of this trend, right? And it's looks like it's not able to find any support above the trend, which would be good. So we could still hug around this trend line, stay around this 60% area, and then eventually start coming down. When we start seeing this dominance coming down, Bitcoin's price staying where it's at, or Bitcoin's price increasing, that means that a lot of money is flowing in to alts. And it's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen, so don't worry. Let me see here. Jay said, I hope it's water. Bro, I'm drinking some beer, bro. There's no water over here. I got beer, and I have an energy drink right here. You guys remember those drinks, Four Locos? It's basically what I'm doing right now. Beer and energy drink. So if I start spazzing out, you know why. Ricky said these that end with Y. I don't remember what I was talking about, but I'll agree with you, bro. Amor said, took a break from the charts for a bit. I needed it for my mental health. I hear you, bro. Punk, what's going on? Ricky said, I got into FWOG and more Popcat. Nice. We'll pull those charts up here in a minute. Just remind me, Jake, my Pepe bags are only down. Let me see here. We said my Pepe bags are only down 28% now. Ricky said a lot of people made money with XYZ on Radium. Amor, I got tired of throwing my life savings into the bottom of Mog and Milady, so I'm going to just kick back and wait like that SpongeBob meme. I hear you, bro. Old, what's going on, brother? So looking at the charts, you guys can see, again, not a bad day today. Nice green across the board. The only thing we have as far as red is this DX, if I pronounce that correctly. Maker, Jupiter's down 1%, but for the most part, freaking Fartcoin's back up 25%, guys. Bro, Fartcoin is never, it's like one of those farts that just linger, right? You blast one, you come back in the room 20 minutes later and it just still smells. Yeah, that's Fartcoin. It just never freaking dies. You know, it just stays there. Freaking, it's not going anywhere, guys. We might as well all just buy Fartcoin because it's going to freaking stay there forever. Yeah, that's too funny. Dog with hats up 22%. Nice. I'm seeing a lot of, bro, memes aren't doing bad today. Floki's up 8.5%. Pepe 10%. Not too bad. Doge at around 2.8, about 3%. Bunk 7%. Radium's not doing bad at around 5.5%. Jasmy's up 6%. Hey, Jasmy. H-bar 3%. Ondo's up 9%. Not too bad today. I'll take it, right? We'll take it. We need these green days here and there to kind of level it out. Let's see here. In Fear and Greed Index, I haven't even checked it. We're literally right smack in the middle of right in neutral. Right in neutral, where I think it's perfect. We reset. Everything reset itself, right? Dominance is up right now for Bitcoin, but it's going to eventually subside. And I'm telling you guys, that long-awaited altcoin season, right when we just least expected, it's going to start taking off. Right when you least expected. And some of these meme coins are going to just straight burn faces. They're going to melt faces. You guys like that fart joke, though? That one just like, it rolled right off, right? It just literally rolled right off. Freaking Fartcoin. Amor said, remember 6 months, bro. I really hope Fartcoin just rips. You know I like a good Fartcoin joke. Someone's tuning in for the first time like, what in the hell is going on in here? Bro, it's Fartcoin, all right? It's Fartcoin. So let's jump into a couple articles real quick, and then we're going to jump back into the charts, a couple DeFi plays and stuff like that. So first things first is we already know that Jerome Powell spoke today, obviously, right? We'll just cover this. I'm not going to read directly, I'm not going to read everything, but we'll kind of just brush over it. So the Fed chair calls for Congress to move on crypto regulatory apparatus. So you know what? We have this video right here. This was a piece of Jerome Powell today mentioning crypto, right? So and this is what I was saying. Remember, December, Jerome Powell came out of nowhere, right? And just mentioned, he's like, oh, and by the way, we won't have a reserve because the feds are not allowed to hold it. And everybody's kind of like, no one asked you that, bro. And he's like, all right, guys, have a great day. And then Bitcoin literally took a shit. And you know, Gary Gensler texted him, was like, thanks, buddy. I owe you one. He's like, you owe me one big, bro. I'm buying this dip. Let's watch this real quick.
Our role with Bitcoin really is to look at, with crypto, really is to look at the banks. And you know, we think it's, you know, banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers as long as they understand and can manage the risks, and it's safe and soundness. A good number of our banks that we regulate and supervise do that. You know, the threshold has been a little higher for banks engaging in our.
So you can hear just off that little snippet, 28 seconds, you guys can see a complete U-turn from what we saw from December, right? And I'm telling you guys, he's getting pressured from this new administration, right? That he ought to change his tune, right? And basically accept crypto. You know, I'm not saying that he's literally going to be going all pro crypto. You know, he's still going to stay on track with his job. But I can guarantee it's going down the pipeline, you know, for him as far as, you know, with the crypto and with the interest rates. Mark my words, he's going to start reducing interest rates faster than he even anticipates. So let's there's another little video right here. If you guys remember Senator Loomis, this lady has basically like been so pro crypto, been awesome as far as with crypto for the last few years.
You know, we got off the gold standard a long time ago. My question is how much you would spend tax dollars at a time where we're talking about trying to reduce costs. How much would you spend on Bitcoin as part of this reserve?
We wouldn't have to spend any new dollars. We have reserves at our 12 Federal Reserve banks, including gold certificates that could be converted to current fair market value. They're held at their 1970s value on the books, and then sell them into Bitcoin. That way, we wouldn't have to use any new dollars in order to establish this reserve. The United States already holds over 200,000 Bitcoin in the asset forfeiture funds. So that would be the initial source of Bitcoin. So no new money spent on this reserve.
Bro, they hold 200,000 Bitcoin? That's insane. That's absolutely insane. You know the government's been buying the dip. You know they've been buying the dip. So that's awesome right there. I mean, right there, those are two crazy things. Like I keep telling you guys, that some of the news that comes out, if this shit hit like 4 years ago, it would absolutely like just, the markets wouldn't even know how to react right now. Like Bitcoin would be up like 30% in a day. If you heard the freaking Jerome Powell saying the banks can hold crypto, right? A standing senator that's running most of the banks right now is literally saying that we can literally sell some of our gold and convert it over to Bitcoin for our strategic reserve for Bitcoin. I mean, this is just like mind-boggling how the markets aren't so like just going absolutely crazy as of right now. But very big news right there, guys. Very big news. And you know, same thing like I said with Jerome Powell. He kind of changed his tune, not only with crypto, but for just a lot of things, as far as with the inflation, with interest rates and stuff like that. You could just see it in his tone that he came in today. We got a dovish Jerome Powell today. From the last meeting in December was very hawkish. So definitely a different tune. Hopefully this is more to come as far as for 2025 and what we have going on. The other article, don't want to spend too much time on it, but it looks like Trump's media firm has launched TruthFi to expand its financial services and crypto investment in Bitcoin. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's right here. So on January 25, press release said that TruthFi will allocate up to $250 million of its firm's $700 million cash reserves to diversify its balance sheet as approved by the board. So they're buying crypto, right? We already know they're buying a lot of American-made crypto. I believe he's real big on Ethereum. There's a couple other, I believe Solana, because he dropped his coin on Solana. And there's a couple projects that he's already holding on to that he's been very vocal about. That I'm sure that they're his company, what is it, Truth.fi, and that's also Truth Social, which is his freaking social media. So definitely big right there. I mean, we're talking about the U.S. president's company, talking about him. He's about to be buying $250 million worth of different cryptocurrencies. Just another thing that would, if this came out 4 years ago, the markets would absolutely be going apeshit, right? I think we're too spoiled. Something I saw today that we're not seeing a lot of across the boards, right? I wanted to cover this. XRP, right? They've been kind of just, after I found out that what's his name? Garlinghouse, I think, right? Or no, Chris Larson, that's who it is. Chris Larson on here. But there was XRP particularly, we found out that they've been lobbying, against the strategic reserve for Bitcoin solely, right? They've been lobbying that they want to see that CBDC, come out, which Trump said it's not happening, but it seems like they're kind of playing devil's advocate with the crypto space and with the crypto people in the crypto space and basically with their project, in my opinion, right? So they just kind of like, I was like, when I found out about all this in the last week, it's kind of been like, you know what? It's kind of just, I don't know. It's rumor for right now, but I just don't like what I'm hearing is what's coming from XRP. But I saw this today, this article, in regards to, we'll just read it. So the Ripple chairman, Chris Larson, has sold XRP tokens worth $116 million in 2025 alone. So just in the last 29 days, just Larson alone has sold over $100 million in XRP, right? Drop in the bucket for a project like XRP. It has massive market cap, right? But let's keep reading on. So this is according to on-chain data, as Larson's wallet appears to have gone on a distribution campaign following its first substantial sale last September, increasing. Interestingly, the sell-off come at a time when XRP is performing incredibly well after years of bearish pressure. So the data from the XRP scan confirms that, let's see here, Larson's 5 wallet, one of Larson's 6 XRP addresses, has been sending XRP tokens to 2 addresses since the start of the year. One of the addresses belonged to America's largest exchange, Coinbase, while the second is unknown, but the ultimate destination has been exchanges. So pretty much what this indicates is that Chris Larson's been selling massive amount, but not just him. A lot of people that are up big in XRP have been selling massive amounts since XRP's basically been around that $3 and $3+ area. So not spreading FUD, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure these people have been holding for a very long time for this moment, you know, but I just think it's hilarious, you know, that you have these people and they're not just selling, you know, like, you know, I see selling like $1 million, $200 million. They're selling hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And another thing too, which has always been for XRP, is Larson's wallet, right? You know how much XRP he holds? 410 million XRP, right? That's massive. 410. If you do, you know, if you multiplied that by right now, let's just say $3, that's $1.2 billion worth. $1.2 billion worth of XRP. That is a lot. Oh, look at this. Larson holds. Okay. Damn. Bro, I'm even jumping the gun here. Look at this. It says, for context, the address was gifted 500 million XRP when XRPL went live in 2013. It's held onto these tokens until September 24. So he's been holding for a while, right? So that's awesome. When the Ripple co-founder decided to move 50 million XRP to an unknown address for liquidations, now Larson holds 2.71 billion XRP across 6 wallets. 2.71 billion XRP, guys. That's over $6 billion worth of XRP. That is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. That's crazy. Uh-oh, look at this. Look at this bull flag looks like it's playing out, guys. That's crazy though. But I mean if you one thing I got to say though is like the article verified. He hasn't moved funds since 2013, right? I'm sure he's getting paid through, you know, through the company or whatever you want to call it. But I mean, as far as like his personal, you know, XRP holdings and maybe he's getting paid by or getting paid in XRP, right? The same thing happened for ICP. When ICP first started off, they had hundreds of devs on their team, right? And all these people in the back end, before even ICP was dropped and after, but before, they were getting paid not in currency, but they were getting paid in ICP, right? A lot of these projects do that, so they believe in the project, right? So they'll do everything they can to make this project be the best, right? Well, a lot of times you'll see these devs, they sell when you hit all-time highs, or like, I've been holding, you know, this is basically my salary, this is my money. Why wouldn't I take it full max, you know, advantage of it when we're at highs? And I completely understand. ICP did the same thing with a lot of their devs, you know? So, I mean, that's kind of like what you're seeing now with some of the devs on XRP. But you have to keep in mind, their market cap is, I mean, it's enormous, right? Their market cap is something to where homeboy can sell his whole $6 billion worth, right? And it would bring the project down, of course, if it was all in one sell. But you got to talk about $178 billion market cap. So the dude holds potentially, I would say, somewhere around 4% of the market cap he has in his wallet, right? So I mean, it would be a big drop in the project, but it would probably be eaten up quick. And what I'm getting to is it probably wouldn't affect the project much. But it kind of scares you when you see that, where you have some of these wallets of devs that hold so much of this project. So it is what it is, guys, and that's why you can see circulating supply is at 57 billion, but the max supply is at 100. So I'm sure, well, we already know, I've seen this plenty of times, half of the supply is held by the devs, believe it or not. So half of this supply is out in circulation. The other 43% is held by the devs. So spreading that XRP FUD, huh? Just kidding. You know what I'm seeing on the Ricky, you seeing this? This is the dominance. Bruh. Ricky, don't tell me you don't see a W right there, bro. Look at that freaking W clear as day. This is on dominance. Flip, what's going on? Look at that dominance, bro. That's a W pattern. I wouldn't be surprised if dominance. You don't want to see that one. I don't either, bro, but I'm just pointing it out. It's a freaking clear as day W pattern on the dominance. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back to retest this 61%. So far for this cycle, we broke above it at around 61.5%, but you can see we didn't close above it, right? So you can see this has been a spot we've tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 times, and we've been rejected ultimately, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we come back up here. Like I said, I anticipate that Bitcoin is probably going to see a massive run coming up. Dominance is probably going to spike out of nowhere. We're probably going to see something big happen, like Trump just signed a strategic reserve strictly for Bitcoin or something like that. And it's going to move the needle to where Bitcoin's just going to rally up. I'm still calling that 125, 130 area, 100,000, 130,000. You're going to see Bitcoin dominance probably run up again, 61. It could run up to 62%. That's another spot for some resistance area. This was a support area back in 2020, right? So, I mean, we could see that. And with that being said, doesn't mean that alts are going to necessarily just dump, right? Because if Bitcoin's doing really well, breaking above, some of these levels that we've been stagnant at right now, I'm sure alts will move up as well. That just means that we're seeing a lot of new money coming into the market, but it's strictly, or most of it's coming into Bitcoin, which perfectly fine, guys. If that's what it takes for the market or for the money to flow in, whether it's new retail, whatever the case is, eventually it's going to flow back over or flow into alts as well. So it is what it is, guys, right? Nothing, it's out of our power, but as long as we can just keep the ball rolling, right? Eventually these alts are going to, they're going to see their day. They're going to see their day where they start running, in my opinion. So real quick, guys, make sure you guys slap those likes. Been going back and watching the videos, and I'm like, bro, we had like 200-300 people watch, and we only have 20 likes. It's all you have to do is just hit the like. It's free. I know I used to be like that too. I'd watch videos and stuff like that, and I would never hit the like. Watch these people's stuff every day, and I would never hit the like. Never comment, never hit the like. And then I started streaming 3 years ago, and I was like, you know what? That like button, it's important. You got to hit it. That's what she said, right? As far as DeFi, what's on the radar for today, Miro's doing pretty good. Miro's up about 10% like we talked about. This AI16Z, you guys know I've been pointing this out for a while, right? And it's still in a decent little area as far as a buy area. This project, it got hit pretty hard, right? Given with the whole AI debacle in the last couple of days with the DeepSeek. But I do think that eventually this is going to probably bounce back and start doing really well, probably breaking above $1. Right now it is about 65 cents. So something to keep an eye out. If it does come back to this level at around the 55 area, which it has support, right? Because you can see it's bounced off this area a few times. If it does come to this 55 area or below, I'm probably going to start accumulating this project. This project, I mean, it definitely has a lot of eyes on it. Right now, the volume has kind of come down slightly. It's at around 150,000. But this thing was doing days where it was just multi-millions flowing in. And a lot of big people behind this project as well. So I do think that eventually this project's going to get back up and running, and we'll probably see a nice run. I think a lot of AI projects, I mean, like I told you at the beginning of the stream, Fetch AI, ALI, right? They were not doing the best. If we pull up Fetch right now, is at, damn, the thing's at 99 cents, right? Why is AI not doing well? Well, obviously it's because that deep seek in NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA yesterday was down, or 2 days ago was down 15%, which I called. I said, guys, if you're in the stocks, that might not be a bad play. Alejandro, shout out to Alejandro. I don't know if he's in today. One of our moderators, he went in, I think he opened up a position along on NVIDIA the next day, and he told me he did really well because NVIDIA bounced back up. You know, it didn't bounce all the way back up, but it had a decent day yesterday. Today, it was slightly down again, about 5%, kind of taking away some of those gains. But the point of what I'm getting to is NVIDIA doesn't do good. You're going to see these AI projects kind of move, mimic as well, but they're all going to come right back. So right now you're seeing Fetch down to 99 cents. Like I showed you, the AI 16Z down about 65%. And then you have this other project that I always tell you guys about, ALI, which is a small market cap, back down around that 1 cent mark. So, oh, there he is. Dro, what's going on, bro? Okay, yeah, you bought calls out the same day though, and you did good because today I haven't looked at NVIDIA's chart today. We'll pull it up, but I saw something pop up across my computer and said NVIDIA was down like 5% today. Oh, you know what? I might need to. Yeah, it looks like it was down slow. Hold on. You got a little W pattern forming, Dro. You see that? On NVIDIA. So we saw the drop. This was when the DeepSeek dropped, right? And we dropped down to about 116 it looks like, and then we saw that nice bounce. This was as of yesterday, I believe. So 2 days ago we saw the drop, and then we saw a nice little bounce. What was that? About 10%, 11% bounce, and then we seen somewhat of a little bit of a retracement, but it looks like it's found that support at this support level at around 123 as of now. So, I mean, it looks like it closed in the green today. And also, it does look like potentially some kind of a W pattern that's also forming on NVIDIA. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if everything kind of gets back up and running and you see NVIDIA kind of bounce right back up, maybe to where it was consolidating, at least getting back up towards that 130. In between the 130 and maybe somewhere around 145, where it looks like it has some resistance. 140, 141, yeah, somewhere around there. So, but why do I bring up NVIDIA? Only because AI projects, if you're trading crypto with almost any AI project, you should always keep an eye out on NVIDIA, because it's gonna mimic what, you know, AI projects are gonna mimic what NVIDIA is doing for right now. So Gene said, if Milady deletes 3 zeros, how much market cap will that be? Gene always comes with these hard questions. He'll always come with the hard questions. Like, he just comes in and just slaps a question like, hey, where do you see Milady in 7.5 years from now? I'm like, I don't know, bro. 7 years from now? So Gene's asking if it deletes 3 zeros. It's at 7 zeros right now. I mean, I'm not going to do the math, bro. But 3 zeros, it would take it down to about 4 zeros. You're probably looking at well over $1 billion market cap. I would imagine at least $1 billion market cap. For 3 zeros, you're probably looking at around $2 to $3 billion market cap. Just kind of, you know, you can don't crucify me if you do the math later on and you're like, wait, that comes out to 1.3 billion, not 3 billion. All right, you get what I'm saying. It definitely would be a massive move from where it's at right now. You're talking about probably a 30, 40, 50x from where it's at right now. But to give you some hopium, The market cap for Milady is only at $43 million right now, bro. 43 million. That is that's like so small compared to what it could do, where it could be, right? So, I mean, think about it. If and when Milady gets to a $1 billion market cap, that's over a 50x right now, right? Is that 50? No, 20x. I'm sorry. That's like a 22, 23x from where it's at right now. Just $1 billion. So imagine you're talking about three zeros. That's a massive, massive move, which it could. That Binance will drop. Ricky said, from 7 years from now, it's going to be called Old Lady. Old Lady meme coin. Punk said, is China in crypto yet? Who knows, bro? We covered something a while back. We looked at all the countries that own crypto and how much they own. And China is one of China, right? Like Trump says it. China is one of the biggest government holders of Bitcoin. You think like these countries like El Salvador, right, that are like all pro Bitcoin, and you have a couple other of these countries that are very pro crypto, and they've inquired it into their currencies and stuff like that, into their reserves. They're nothing compared to what like America owns, what China owns. China owns massive. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin, but they don't really want the broad base of their country trading crypto. They don't. You already know they already have their own digital currency over there. The digital yuan. So, but I think just because they don't want their citizens really trading into crypto because they look at it as some kind of a threat to their currency, which I don't really see how Bitcoin is a threat to anyone's currency particularly. They still hold massive amounts because they know the potential of crypto, and I'm sure they're mining the hell out of it as well, right? You know how they work over there. Alejandro said he added more algo. Is that Algorand? Is what you're saying? Algo? Thought I had a chart on here. I will say, bro, the one thing I do see immediately off of this is look at this. This looks like a potential bull flag, right? If you see a nice little run up, then you can see kind of a descending channel. Maybe I need to make it look a little better here, a little bit more promising, something like that. But you can see it looks like there's possibly a bull flag that's playing out on here. Demon said, any are you saying opinion? Are you asking like what's my opinion for February? I mean, you guys already know what I've been calling this for the last month, 2 months. I feel like a broken record, not towards you, Damon or anything like that. I'm saying like I just feel like I keep announcing this, to you guys just because I want you guys to see the bigger picture here. I mean, do what you want to do, right? But I'm trying to show you guys the bigger picture here. And look at the daily. Daily looks good. Nice little daily candle there. But I keep showing you guys, and we keep going back, and I keep showing you we won't do it again for too long. But we've gone through this before, right? This was 2020. This was January of 2021, right? And I mean, you guys can see January of election years, right? And I don't mean election years. Last year was the election year, but right now is what the month that we go through the transition where we went from one administration to the other. The markets tend to not do good, right? This was literally 4 years exactly, right? And you saw the markets did really well up into that election, and then boom, we saw a 30% correction. But look what followed, right? February, March, April, Bitcoin just continued to make highs, right? Now, we did see some massive swings in the market, right? You go back, you look at this is at literally the end of January, right? Bull flag played out, and boom, we bounced off of our 50-day moving average on the daily. And then you can see we just saw a massive run up, right? So February, we're in February right now. This is like the first week of February. Look at this God candle. Second week of February, just a massive God candle that formed. and you can see a massive run. But in between these big runs, there still was retracements, right? We had that big, massive, this was a 100% run from the end of January up until the beginning of March. And then look what followed, a 25% drop. What do you think people were saying at that time? It's over. It's over, and the babies start coming back out. But look what followed. A 42% move towards the upside to make new highs, right? And you can see how it goes. We're not going to ever just move up, as far as like with Bitcoin or the market. You're going to see these swings in between here. And I will tell you, alts during January, I remember, because this is like pretty much, I was brand new in the crypto space. Alts during January of 2021, it was bloody. And I'm saying it was just bad. I always remember freaking just jumping in. I always tell you guys the story. It was just like I jump in and I'm all like hype, and the markets drop and everybody's like, just sell everything. This shit's over with. And I'm like looking around like, what the fuck? I'm like, wait, what? I always tell you guys, and I was like, man, fuck these people. I'm like, I'm just going to keep buying. I kept buying Dogecoin at like freaking 2 cents. I was like, you guys sell, I'm going to keep buying. And you guys can see how it played out, right? But I mean, this right here was probably the scariest drop in my career of crypto, is when we saw this, because I mean, this was probably the biggest epic drop that I've seen in the crypto space. And we will get one of these eventually again. And you can see Bitcoin dropped down 52.25%, right? Remember, all-time highs, we formed a bear flag, and boom, we dropped. This was towards the beginning of May. So April, all the way from the end of January, basically the beginning of February, right, till April, we ran. We absolutely ran. Yes, we saw little dips in between, but we ran, right? But my God, after that, if you really map it from April's high, right, we go from April's high to this bottom, which was in May, 55.5% drop. Could you imagine Bitcoin right now dropping? That would be Bitcoin dropping down into the 50,000s right now. Could you imagine what this space would look like? Do you imagine what the alts would look like right now? YouTubers are going to come back. They're going to come on here and tell you that we're going down to 3,000. They are throwing down crazy. I was hearing hundreds, like 500 for Bitcoin, and I'm just like, this was probably the scariest drop, because I still was holding at this time. I had sold, I think I had sold my Doge, and I was in Ethereum now, but I was heavy in Ethereum. And after this drop, I was like, holy hell. But look what followed, guys. After we made this massive drop, we ran up again. I honestly, I've been telling you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if 2025 is something similar to this, right? And the reason why I say that is because 2024, right? Our 2024 was that 2020, right? Doesn't that kind of look like what we've seen in 2024? Just massive runs, right? And this is exactly what we pretty much saw. And isn't it coincidental? Election year, right? 4-year cycles. We saw the big drop in January, only to see this big run, for the next few months. So I'm not saying it's going to be exactly like this, but something like this could happen. And I bring it up, guys, just because, if you're long term for this and you really believe in crypto, if you've been around, you see these drops, it's like we're going to go through it, especially with crypto. It's like one day everything's freaking to the moon. The next day it's like everybody's telling you to sell and everything's a scam. It's just, there's no in between. There's no in between, guys. So, but if you're a member on the channel, you guys know we've pretty much been talking about what I plan on doing, right? And just trying to form a game plan as far as our exit, because we talk about this on the member streams, which we were gonna have one again tonight. We just had one this weekend. We'll probably have one either in the next few days, or we'll have another one this weekend. We have one at least once a week. I want to start having 2 to 3 member streams during the week. So if you are interested, we do a little bit more in detail on what we're doing with crypto and really get into depth, like talking one-to-one with everybody. So hit that join button if you can, support the channel. But I've been talking about, my exit plan with the whole crypto space as far as, just jumping out before we do get into this bear market. Remember, we're waiting for one more massive run. We want to see this exit liquidity come into the market, aka we go parabolic, right? And then we basically, me personally, I'm going to be moving all my assets over to stable coins and back into the dollar and just kind of wait. I'm probably not going to catch that top. No Diddy on that one. But, I will be perfectly fine, with me making one more big bag, right? Because I've had a hell of a bull run the last couple years, and then just kind of waiting, even if it takes 6 months, 8 months, whatever the case is, for the bear market to begin, and then start, having patience, but eventually accumulating some of these projects. Even I do plan on becoming a whole coiner on Bitcoin. I should have done it in the last one. $15,000. I should have freaking picked up multiple Bitcoins, But I still picked up massive stuff. It was just it was alts, particularly. So, Gina, what's going on, girl? Oh, it's not her birthday, bro. Her birthday just passed. Amora said his finger's going to be on the trigger. Hold on. Finger is going to be on the trigger to sell once I see Mog and Milady God Candle. Hell yeah. I'm right there with you, brother. What is Mog doing nowadays? Mog's still in that beautiful buy zone, right? Definitely a beautiful buy zone. I mean, it looks like we've been seeing W patterns form and then it doesn't play out. But you can see, looks like we have another one. We'll see if this one plays out. But a nice little W pattern that's formed on Mog for right now. You're hitting your head at around that 12.30, 12 mark. I would say 12.3 mark. That's a big spot for some resistance for right now. Was previously support. So if you guys can break above that, I'm sure that'll help definitely ignite this run as far as moving up for Mog. So. But yeah, guys, honestly, today wasn't a bad day in the market, and hopefully we continue to see some good moves continuing. Let's see here. We already saw Jerome Powell. Everybody's playing Jerome Powell. This is Micro Sailor playing it. He said, "You're not bullish enough." There's a big risk in the market right now against Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP. We can blame it on Garland House. Oh shit. Where do they come up with this shit? You guys see, also, I saw today that Dogecoin possibly is gonna get a freaking ETF. Like they're in the process of trying to get it approved right now. So that would mark like 20 different projects right now that are all in the running trying to get ETFs right now. Absolutely crazy. And we covered that some of these analysts were saying that they wouldn't be surprised if something like with ETFs, like maybe something big happens, like where like 10 projects get approved for ETFs all at once, like Solana, XRP, like whatever, some of these bigger projects. I wouldn't be surprised if a meme coin does get approved for some kind of ETF, that it would be something like Dogecoin, right? Would not be surprised. So, but guys, that's pretty much it for today. That's pretty much it. keep your heads up, guys. We had a great day today as far as in the market. Let's hope that we can continue this momentum. Don't forget tomorrow, guys. Before you leave, hold on. Before you leave tomorrow, do not forget we have the GDP growth dropping tomorrow morning. I believe it's going to be around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys are wondering why the markets are maybe fluctuating tonight, tomorrow, we do have some macro numbers dropping as far as tomorrow. We actually have, I ain't going to lie with you guys, we have core PCE dropping on, I believe that's Friday, and the next week we have job openings as well opening next week. So, you know how it is. We've been through this 1,000 times with these macro numbers that always roll around every month. So if you're wondering why maybe we're fluctuating, hopefully we're fluctuating towards the up, but we do have some macro stuff dropping. So we'll definitely cover that tomorrow on the stream at around the same time tomorrow. So with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. Have a safe night out there, and I will see you guys all tomorrow, all right? All right, guys. See ya.